Are you a business owner, an entrepreneur, an entertainer, or a professional that have a story to tell, or a product or service that you want to put out there for the world to see? Let's set up an exclusive interview between you and I. All I want you to do is to shoot me an email on info@okanex.com. Let's project your brand, and you'll be glad you did. Thank you. Welcome to Okanex Hangout. On today's episode, I have the pleasure of hosting a real estate specialist and business entrepreneur in New Jersey, Mr. Chidi Durugo. Welcome to Okanex Hangout.
Thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Mr. Chidi, please, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, my name is Chidi Durugo. I'm from Njaba, Imo State, Nigeria. Now I live in New Jersey here, and I've been in New Jersey for over 30 years. I came to United States 1996. Since then, I've been in New Jersey.
Wow.
I attended college here. As a matter of fact, my last attendant was in City Hall University, where I got my master's degree.
Correct. Okay, thank you for that short intro, Mr. Durugo.
Yeah.
Mr. Durugo, please, can you tell us about your story, how it all started, and how you got to where you are today in New Jersey?
My story is such a long one. So, like I said, I came to the U.S. 1996. I've been in New Jersey. I left Nigeria as a young boy. When I came here, I was barely 19. And then, I went to SS County College for 2 years, and then graduated my first degree in Jersey City State University as criminal justice, and went to City Hall University for my master's degree in human resources and development. Since then, like every other person, we worked all kind of jobs, and then started cutting hair. I used to actually cut hair in South Orange, Avenue. That's what I did for my first few years. And then after my degree, I went to work in the Department of Correction. From corrections, then I got my real estate license anyway in between. Then I didn't like correction, I didn't like the lifestyle of prison. Then I secured a job with Superior Court of New Jersey and become probation officer for 10 years, and then become a supervisor, court service supervisor in Hanson County, where I completed a total of 18 years from when I started. And then I decided that as I was working, I was also doing all kind of business, but mainly real estate. And then I decided to, start running my own businesses that I'm doing today.
What, motivated you to go into business?
Anyway, when people look at me, they say, "Oh, how did you start doing grocery stores? What actually, influenced you to go into real estate?" Yeah, I must say that I grew up in a business family. Nobody in my family ever worked for anybody. We are traders. My father is a trader. My mother was a trader. I came from polygamous family. My father married a lot of wives. I don't want to mention how many.
No, no problem.
But
There's no need for that.
but what I saw growing up is my mother and our mothers were running their own businesses, and mainly it's a grocery store. So I grew up, when I was born into grocery store. So when you see kids playing, I play with milk, play with kind of sardine and all of that. So that's what I knew growing up for my first 14 years and 16 years that before I moved into hostel. That's what we did. So that had been part of my life all this time. Even if I came to US, it was something of exciting to go into blue collar job, white collar job, corporate America, but I'm still like wired to go back into trading. So that's why I've maintained all kind of business like real estate. At the end of the day, I moved back to my originality, which is buying and selling groceries. So today we have a for market not only in New Jersey but also in Philadelphia. You know.
Wow. So how has it been running the two businesses, real estate and the grocery therefore? Because with the little I know about Apap, it's seriously expanded. How are you able
Yeah,
to?
again, I started doing real estate from 2005 when I was cutting hair. So I have the opportunity to meet a lot of people. One of them was Charlie Onwuka. Charlie Onwuka is an MBC man, very, very nice. May his soul rest in peace. He's late now. So he was the one that introduced me to real estate. When he spoke to me about real estate, I was like, no, I enjoy cutting hair. Let me just do what I do. But he convinced me that I would make more money, that I would actually love real estate because he saw the vibrancy in me. He had kind of, think I'll do better in real estate. So at the end of the day, he recruited me into real estate in 400 Avington Avenue, South Orange. That's where I started my career as a realtor. So he taught me how to go about getting clients and all of that. So I did very, very good. Even back in 2008, I was the highest closer in New Jersey. Then I received that award. And I did a lot of rentals. Most of our people, I'm telling you, I'm connected all over. I sold them their first house. So I was known for big realtor, if not anywhere among our people. So you couldn't talk about real estate without my name ringing bell. And it's because of my radical mindset of going after people preaching the good gospel of real estate. So we were very excited in putting hands, in making sure our people buy their own house instead of, renting. So from there, I grew from real estate. Now, there's people that played very important role in my life. So when I met Matt Abwin, Matt Abwin started telling me about building houses. Actually, when I joined real estate from the point of hustling. Sell the house and get commission. But thank God for disappointments in life. Disappointments will actually help you to grow. So when a Jewish guy was telling me, oh, if you find houses that is $60,000, we'll buy it. And then we'll fix it and give it back to you to sell. I started doing that. I found a lot of houses for them. But what I started noticing is that these people will go and fix the house and then realize that they have inside realtors, which is their brothers or relative or their own guys. I gave it to them to sell. Actually, it was a big disappointment for me. Now, when I spoke about it with Matt said, you can do the same thing they're doing. But I said, wait a minute, where am I gonna get $60,000, 100,000? I've never seen that type of money in my account before. And then that's where the idea of collaboration comes in. I say, you know what? If I have 20,000 and I can find four other people that have 20,000, that's 30,000, and we can be able to do the same thing these guys are doing. So maybe selling real estate, making commission. We start flipping. We will go and buy a house that needed a lot of work. Then we fix and flip. Now, I started pushing 4 areas of real estate. I convinced people to give me back the house to manage for that. When I sell you a house, I actually manage it for you. That's the second part of it. I make commission from managing it from you and then doing the landscaping. And then the other side of it is to flip. Some of those houses, we buy the house that is that needed to be fixed, rehab. We needed to rehab and then sell it. So the other part of it is to actually buy a house and do ABI and collaborate with other people and buy and keep and collect rent. So these are four major areas that we partnered in, So that's the area of real estate. So when I came to actually the idea of starting our for market is during the COVID, we find out that every other thing closed. The only thing that did not close is the hospitals, grocery stores, and local stores. I'm like, wait a minute. It's time to take the advantage to establish a grocery store. So when I spoke to Dugo, my partner, so we were able to collaborate and open. But your question is very important. How did you manage real estate? This is three things now. You manage real estate, you manage for market, and then I was still working as cost service supervisor at this time. You understand? So now it all bears on collaborating and then building a system, forming a system that bears on delegation. So when I was with state, we will have to manage the Afro market under my leadership. Then I set up a management system where I have a manager, and then Google was in the hands of the affair. For my real estate, I show real estate when I get off from my state job, but at a point it becomes very difficult to work 9 to 5, do real estate, and also manage for market. Then I have to drop my 9 to 5. I have to resign from that job, since I'm vested. Because when I get to 65 or whatever, I'll get my pension. So now I have to drop the job, resign, then come back fully to manage for market and also continue my real estate.
Okay, so like you talked about, you just resigned. You didn't just wake up and resign. So how were you able to do it? Because I know a lot of people that are in that situation now. They have something by the side, not being able to muster that courage. So how were you able to do yours? Maybe they can tap into your strategy.
Yeah, leaving your job is one of the hardest thing you will do. It is a very big challenge and it requires a lot of planning. I didn't just wake up and send my resignation there. So first of all, the idea of resigning from my job or running my own business is not something that just happened. It had been there all along. So now I created 4 to 5 major. I put 4 to 5 major plans together to be able to do this. One, while I'm maintaining my state job, I knew that anytime now I'm going to resign, that I'm not gonna stay there 25 years and all of that. So I started creating soft landing, like making plans that will sustain me before I even write my last letter. Okay.
That was a smart one.
Now, the first thing I did is to start looking for other ways of making money, creating 5 links of making money. The first link is my real estate anyway, because this is a licensed career that is staying with me. So now, in the same real estate provided 3 major areas that giving me constant money every month. One, I have to sell a house. Either I sell, I represent a client that is buying a house, or I listed the house to sell. 2, rentals. I was big in rental. Every month I rent at least 5 to 10 houses. And when you look at it, each average house you make full commission, which is the full rental or half of the rental, right? That's a major income. 3, I was managing houses. I have almost 42 houses that I manage. Remember when I told you that I put group together, we'll buy a house? I manage those houses, nobody else. and I get paid commission by the same house that I'm a member. I'm part of the investor, but I manage those houses. And then I have a lot of people I sold houses. I manage their houses, and I also have people that are giving me houses to manage. Right? That's 4 areas, the same real estate. Then the other side of it is landscaping. So all these real estate and major 4 areas I acquired is easily giving me over $100,000 in income. So therefore, it's tested. I tested this area for over 8 years. And then I came up with something that I don't know the right phrases to say, but I said to myself, something more to fund my lifestyle. Now, the houses I have for myself, I have to rent some of the basement rooms for people. Those are major income that is funding some of my lifestyle, like if I have to pay a car note. But before I get to this point, let me paint another picture for you. A lot of people, the major issues we have from people coming to US, I mean, some people can identify with these ideas, but a lot of people need to know this, right? When you come to US, you carry a baggage of, I have a problem. Maybe either you have to support your family at home, or you have to build a house real quick, which is the major one. You came in, you are bent in working so hard to go build that house or buying properties in Nigeria. This at a point is a problem. Why is a problem? Why is a problem is when you come to US, your major attention is to build yourself first. If you don't have education, unless you don't have paper, of course, you have to find a way to be legal.
Exactly.
The second thing is you have to solidify yourself. You have to learn a trade or go to school and save your money. Don't Nigeria investment should not come first. African investment, unless you have decided to kind of have 5 years and then you have to go back. But as long as you are in the United States, you have to plan for yourself. So in my major issue, like what you asked me, right?
Yes.
It all started when you come. I started investment. I lived in basement that I paid 250 for a long time. Save up a lot of money, right? So when I left that basement, I bought my first house. My first house that I bought from the little savings I have and all of that. Then lived in the basement, rented the other side. Then when my wife came, we lived in first floor, rented downstairs and upstairs, and accumulated a lot of, satisfying myself, right? So with the money that I saved there, then that gave me a very good stand. So then when I build, like I said, my real estate and the 4 areas of income. Now, I can deal without my state job. And while I was still in the state job, I have to have them take 15% of my paycheck to put in what we call deferred compensation. So I don't see that money. They take a chunk. My paycheck look like shit. Like even my wife saw my paycheck and said, "What is this?" But I didn't go in explanation because this money is thrown in a savings account that stays there. Even at the day I resigned, I don't want to mention the type of
there's no
money
need for.
that was there. And that have given me a very financial backing to do a lot of investment. So therefore, before you leave your job in my own distance, I planned it. Real estate is gonna give me this morning. All my operation in real estate was gonna give me this morning. And all the things I sell around from my house, the income I make from the properties I was able to buy already is enough to sustain me. So then when I let go, already we established our for market, right? So I had to come down straight to another job, which is my own establishment to manage it. And that is what made me comfortable to write the last letter that I'm no longer here.
Well, your strategy is a good one, but a lot of discipline and patience was
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, long
So
time.
let me take you back a little bit. You talked about people here having to, stabilize here, invest here, forgo whatever thing you have going back home, trying to, because that is your own advice. So, if I may ask, what is your reason behind that?
Well, my reason behind that is Nigeria economy
Okay.
and the system of Nigeria is not stable. Have disappointed a lot of people. And then when it comes to investment appreciation, there's nothing to hold back on this. Let me give you two examples.
Go ahead.
Back in 2016 or 14, real estate in US, mainly New Jersey here, properties were very cheap because of the economic downturn. And I was talking to some people, let's collaborate and buy properties. A lot of them didn't listen to me. I managed to get a couple of guys to partner with me. Now, we bought these properties 180, 200, and all of that. Those fairly used properties. The people that told me at that time that they use their money, they're building something in Nigeria, they're buying lands and all of that. So now, we acquired 9 of those properties. The most pricey is 250. Now, those properties are $900,000 each. I was asking one of the guys, what about the investment in Nigeria? I also made the same mistake. I went and built poultry with the equivalent of $35,000. But the poultry, it was mismanaged. My brother finally sold off everything there. Nobody to hold. It's a wasted money, wasted time, right? My guy is telling me, I told him they have the land you bought in Imo State somewhere. How much does it worth now? Now, out of 40 something thousand dollars spent, so the house don't even have equivalent of $20,000 coming back to US if we are to sell that coming back to US. But then the money I spend here, which is roughly like putting 15% down, 10% down, and all of that, from $200,000, I'm sitting in equity of over $800,000 or $600,000. So if I go to those houses, like 9 of them, I can pull line of equity and raise up to $2 million,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
But my guy that went to Nigeria have nothing to show for the money that went to Nigeria. Right? So my investment advice is that when you come to US and you decide that you will stay in US, I mean, it's different that if you say, I will be here maybe 5 years, then you save up my money and go and run my business and stay there. That's a different thing altogether. So do your thing.
Okay.
But if you want to be in US, my advice is when you come to US, first of all, set your plan very, very clear. Make a clear plan. If you want to be a service person, identify a career. Save up money. For instance, if you want to be a plumber, go to full school for it. You want to be a medical doctor, focus in school, get your school this thing together, right?
Yes.
So that now you are capable. Save up money, invest in real estate and other investment you can make in United States. Then the proceeds of your investment then comes back. You can now invest in Nigeria. You have nothing to lose at that point. You have a backup in US. If something happened to investment in Nigeria, for instance, who is crying if let's say a house got burned down in US? The last thing you want to do is to kill yourself because the insurance is gonna will rebuild it as long as you have no hands in whatever that happened on it, right? My friend, if your house burned down in Nigeria, you're on your if your business burned down in Nigeria, that's it. Even your vehicle caught fire in Nigeria, that's it. You're on your own. The whole money, everything you have spent is gone. So therefore, it makes sense to invest in United States. I don't know about other countries though.
Okay.
I'm only specifically, I'm very, very direct to what I know, United States here. Invest here, and then use the proceeds, whatever dividends that is coming out. You can go to Nigeria and then so like I was saying, so when you come to US, get your plan together. And if you are interested in staying in US for a long time, get your investment plan. Invest first in United States, especially mainly in real estate and other. I know there's a lot of businesses you can do here. There's a lot of investment that is grantee. I don't want to talk about investment that is not grantee because it's totally up to you to find out what interests you. But I know real estate is a major investment area that you buy a house, it's there for you. You want to sell it, it's there for you. Stock can go up and down. So I don't know much about the advice on stock, but if you find it interesting, well, my major advice is that as long as you live in, as long as you are an immigrant, you come in, make sure you get your plan together. But my major advice is invest first in US. And then with the return coming back, you can now invest in your country of origin so that you're either planning for your retirement or relocation, whatever it is. But the investment in US will always form as a major investment that can be there all the time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, with what we have seen already, I think UF have proven that this place can be stable for a long time.
Okay, your reason is very, very cogent. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense because let me put it that way: American economy tends to be stable.
Yeah,
it has been stable for over a great while. Okay, good. Now, I believe out there, some people still want to join or come into real estate. You understand? Because you've been able to. That is an area you flourished for a number of years, right? So you have a wealth of experience in that direction. So for the upcoming ones that want to come into real estate, that don't have that bulky money or that still wants to do the collaboration that you talked about, how can they navigate that terrain?
Yeah, I mean, there's a different area of real estate, like getting involved in real estate. Like I started by being a salesperson. So you're a new person in US and you love real estate. So I encourage you to join the school, go online, Google how to register for the school and get the license. Do it right. You get the license, so that you can expose yourself to the major rules and regulations and the law and all of that. Educate yourself in professional work, being a realtor. So when you get your license, hustle, do all the professional training and all of that. Go after clients that want to buy, purchase a house, or sell their own house. Through that, you can save money. When you save money, then second part of it is to buy your own house. And when you buy your own house, don't buy one family house. Buy 2 or 3 family house so that you can start getting income while you live in one of the either first floor, second floor, even get yourself the basement. Then you are making income from the same house. Buy another one. If you save up money, invest in another property. And then when you are able to buy 2 properties, at that point, you can borrow against those properties and then look for collaboration. Now, that's when you start looking for partnership to buy. You understand? So then if you partner with people, you put your percentage in, and then you can go from there to, but then the big aspect of what we are doing now, what we are saying now is this. When people come to US, I learned this thing later on. You have to look for mentor.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Our people overly think they know it all, or they don't need anybody. I strongly encourage that you look for mentor and let it be that mentor that is doing what you want to do. Somebody you can look up to. So, I mean, I can get the idea behind if you want to be like, if you want to be a major real estate person, and then you are mingling with people that have nothing to show for it, you know what I mean? So you have to look for people that are doing good in real estate so that you can learn from them. If you warrant paying for consultation, pay for consultation, and then they will teach you how to go about the business. Over 50% of our people that have real estate license have never closed house. Yeah. I'm telling you the truth. They come to me and say, how come we are not getting this? Then how can I have a lot of this? You understand? So there must be a major issues behind that. And it boils down to training. There is just because you know a lot of people doesn't guarantee you buying a house, doesn't guarantee you selling a house, selling them a house. As a matter of fact, as more you kind of introduce yourself to our people or to a lot, the more you go close to people, most of the time they don't want to do business with you. There is difference between business relationship and personal relationship. So a lot of people say they have friends that are known to the community. But how can you still cannot sell a house? How can your friends go somewhere else and buy a house? How can your friends go somewhere else and rent a house? How can your friends go somewhere else even to other cultures to get their business done? And they are drinking with them all the time. So now the issue there is this, and I want to be specific. Let me use our culture, right?
Exactly.
I sold a lot of house to our people, the Igbo people, Yoruba, and all of that. Our Nigerian community, our African community. And the major challenges is being able to relate with people in business, like the relationship be business minded. If you are business, meaning like you don't discuss a lot of personal issues with them, you don't hang out with them to go drink, you don't participate in a lot of controversial issues with them, you don't show off too much with them, you don't go to a lot of occasions flashing money with them. It turns our people off, even if they'll be cheering you. Jealousy comes into it. And the major thing there is that our people lie. You will see people that make $50,000. They're telling you they make 150,000. They make 200,000. Guess what? If they want to buy a house, they don't want to come to you because you will find out the truth, right? The more you leave them alone and live your life, and don't be known for gossip. Like, don't gossip. Don't talk about people. Just live life freely. When you see people, be nice to them and all of that. They will come to you. Immediately, you are doing a shebi with them. You are hanging out every night with them. You are talking. You are flashing money. You are saying, do you know who I am and all of that. One, they're jealous. I don't want to give you money to start like pumping up again. Two, they lie to you that they're making a lot of money. Oh, I don't want to bring my tax return. So that he will find that I'm only making 100,000, not 200,000.
Fake life.
So now, all these things contribute to them running away from you. So, therefore, you have to be professional. If you want to be in real estate or any business, you have to be honest. They have to trust you. You have to be transparent. Every opportunity you have to deal with anybody, show them that you can be trusted. And people will go and make your case for you. The same way people talk bad about people, they also talk good about you. A lot of people that will come to you in the future because of what they heard about you have never met you before. It's because somewhere, somebody says something about you. If it's the good one, they're looking for you. And a lot of people that hate you today have never had personal encounter with you. It's because somebody went out somewhere and said this guy is not a nice guy, he's rude, stupid guy, he's a rogue, he's a liar. They capitalize on that without even verifying, and they don't want to do anything with you. So therefore, your focus in life is anybody you come in contact with, try to represent their best. If it's service, give them the best service. The same person will go out and talk about the experience to a stranger, and that stranger is looking for it. That's what brings business to you.
Okay. Okay, now, since we've dabbled into real estate for a greater part of the time, but can I ask you this question? Putting myself in a position of maybe someone that wants to come into the business, are you willing and ready to serve as a mentor? When maybe people come to you, do you have any program ongoing, or can you take that role? Since you've understood the whole terrain of real estate as far as New Jersey is concerned, at least going by all standards, you're an authority in that area.
Yeah, let me put it this way.
Okay.
Not just real estate. We have found out that our people need information. Our people need leadership in every part of it. We need mentor. We need role model. So that's why, sorry, I have taken it upon myself to be open, and we are running program every second Saturday of the month. But this time we are scheduled, like our next program will be on March 8th. So what we basically do there is to mentor people. We talk about how to invest in real estate, how to become a realtor, how to secure a loan in real estate, how to also meet other professionals. So now we are providing a platform of networking. While I can talk about real estate, I have somebody that can talk about getting you the loan. I have somebody that can talk about fixing your credit if you don't know how to go about taking care of your credit issues. We have contractors. So we also have the opportunity to talk about a lot of other areas. We have 50 service areas or businesses that our people have never dabbled in. Like these are the services we need, but other people are providing it for us. You understand? So we believe that exposing these informations to our people, and people that are ready will come forward and take advantage or ask more questions, and we direct them. So going back to your question, yes, if you're interested in me being your mentor, I'm there for you. I will do everything to provide every information that I know, and that I also know how to get. You know what I mean? So I've been in real estate for a long time. I think I have a lot to contribute.
Actually, it's still part of what this platform is all about, because, like the discussion we had the other time, individually, fantastic people. That's who we are. But collectively, we are not matching up. Comparing us to other community, the Indian community, the Chinese, and I mean the Jews. So, but and those experience, and there's no platform to bridge that gap. So it's still part of what we are projecting. Thank you for that awareness. For people that really want to get across to you, yeah, they will link up with you, and because we really need to, establish our presence. We've been in this community for a very long time, but it's not all about partying and all those. We need to make a point. Taking us back.
Let me expatiate in that. I think that what you just mentioned is a major problem. Our people is a big problem. Our people are very individualistic. So I give our people credit individually. They are moving mountains on their own. Like our people will come here, they will go to school, they will learn one thing or the other, they become professional, they are doing excellent as an individuals. Then where we fail and fail woefully is collaborating. And my friend, let me tell you the truth. If we don't learn to collaborate, I mean, individually, we will have a job, we will eat, we will drive that big car, as an individual, and that doesn't give us power. Power is best concentrated. Now, let me point out various areas. Our people will come to US, they become professional in anything, they make money, they chase money, but they have no power. You understand?
Yeah.
So you become a lawyer, you become a doctor, you become a business guy, but working for somebody and all of that, get hired. You make money, right?
Yeah.
But you have no power. All it takes is somebody hate you in that job, they fire you, or you suspend your license. That's it. All your noise making is gone. You understand?
Not so bad.
So now, the other cultures, they will come, they will chase power. Tell me who is controlling all the facilities, nursing homes, and all of that. How many do we have? I don't know.
I don't think we have any.
We have a lot of medical doctors. How many hospital clinics do we have that is combined, like that is based on collaboration? So now, if you are working in an institution or facility that you are part of ownership, I don't care what you, unless you kill somebody and go to jail, nobody will fire you. You travel for 6 months and come back, you sleep right in the organization and get paid. You are protected more. You control your destiny. Our market is a power. No matter what I do here, as long as he's following the law, nobody will fire me. It's my establishment. Plus the people, my group. Origin, restaurant and lounge is power. The 6 guys that collaborate to own Origin, none of them can be fired for anything, even if they do. Nobody will talk about it. But if they were working for somebody, you get fired, right? So now, going back, we have to learn to collaborate. Because if we don't collaborate, we can only work for somebody. You work for organization, you get fired. So then the problem is that why can't our people collaborate? What is the problem? The problem is trust. You can't blame some of them. They will count how many times they have tried to do something with somebody and they disappoint. Therefore, our people are looking for leadership in this area. That's where I've presented myself. All these years, I have total of 13 groups that have collaborated from real estate, grocery store, and restaurant. If any of them tell you that they have problem with me, that whatever that is planned was not followed and all of that, I want you to point that person out. I'm ready to talk, right? So, and it's deliberate. It's deliberate. You have to be transparent. You have to be honest. You have to be stable in your position. When people start trusting you, they follow you. So now, coming back to what we are saying, there's a lot of businesses out there, but these businesses can never be acquired by individual because it requires a lot of money. Until we learn to have people come together, build hospital, build school that maintain our values. We don't even have big grocery stores. Look at if you look at ShopRite, Extra,
Yeah.
Primo. These are owned by Dominican, by Spanish, by Chinese, and even Chinese people are selling African food. If not, like we came this area and start making little impact. The Chinese people are the ones selling African, and our people will go there and press them. You understand?
Yeah.
Who are we buying houses from? The Jewish people. In our own community, we live here. And all the houses owned here are owned by chain of Jewish people. They bought all the whole houses and keeping it to themselves, and they will set the price of rental, right? So it can be done, but our people have to come back. Let's think about it. Let's take advantage of coming together. You understand? I know not a lot of people, not everybody can come together. There's people They are very individualistic. Be where you are. But if you have a mindset to collaborate, don't hesitate to find somebody that you are comfortable with. And when I talk about find somebody that is business minded. It's not like your friend that you drink that you know that they are not business, then you want to do business with them. It's not gonna work. Find somebody that is business minded and collaborate with. Or I'm available. You come, we can, not only that.
What about the real estate side? So can we digress a little bit
Yeah.
into the grocery aspect, therefore? You know,
Yeah, our market, like I said, is also built on collaboration. We have Avington.
okay.
That's the first one, owned by three guys.
And I was
Me,
the first customer of Apple.
you are the first
Let
customer.
it be on record.
So Dugo is here, and then I have Ben. So we collaborated and have a operating agreement. So in collaboration, everything needs to be spelled out. Who does what? And then in that, you can elect somebody to succeed you in case of death. And then the business is insured. In further insuring the business, each individual in the business is insured in case if you're no longer here, the business still continue. So, and then at a point, it become like you involve your family. Like my kids also work in a market, you know, Ben and all of that. They have little kids. When they grow up, instead of looking for jobs somewhere, this is how we are planning to. Not only that, now I'm a member of our market, which will be growing.
Yes.
We also have the generation to follow. And as we go, we are bringing new members in. Soon we want to muzzle and be like ShopRite, extra supermarket. And when it gets to that point, this is where you establish business that will last generation upon generation. When you build board of trustee, now it's no longer that Chidi Durugo started the business. Now this business is run by board of trustee. If I'm 90 years, I don't need to come to the store anymore. All I know is my dividend, my initial investment will be coming back to me. And generationally, it goes from the leadership of one generation to another. You understand?
Yes.
So now we have our for new work. Our for new work also is made up of the proceeds from our Avington goes to new work, and then we have two more members added to that establishment, and they have their own percentage coming in. Now we have Afro Philadelphia. Then we added investors in it. So Afro is expanding. And as we go, we are not going to stop expanding. Now I have to announce this. So any state you are, watch out Afro is coming. So I mean, I'm not saying it because of this, but we are very, very determined to keep representing our people and we become a service to our people. So I will not be happy when you go to all these states, you see somebody that doesn't look like us giving us our own food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is coming. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it would be more. It would be more interesting to see us serving our people, like bringing our food to our people. You know what I mean? So, a more immediate, like what collaboration can do for us is if we can form very big unit and a lot of people invest in it, we can create a generational wealth that can be transferred to the next generation. And in so doing that, also, I want to also talk about when building these businesses and in our community, we also take advantage of insurance. Make sure in each business or in your individual, take insurance, for your family, for yourself, and all of that. That's how white people sustain wealth. It's not just for the business, it's also that when you are living, people are benefiting. When you die, the people you left behind also benefit. And also, if they learn this, everybody is coming up with a very, very solid plan, insurance, business. Then in the next 20 years, we can create a better community where not only that we provide a lot of services for ourselves, keeping the money
within us.
we are circulating within us, and also providing employment for our own people. Do you know that Chinese people single-handedly use their restaurants to cure a lot of employment problems for their own people? You go to a Chinese restaurant, you don't even see any black person serving. But who is buying all the food? We blacks, right? You further move down this thing, the Arab and all of that, they're selling you luqwa. They're selling you what is it called? Luqwa, like drinks.
Yeah, drinks. Yeah.
But they tell you they don't drink. But who is buying the drinks? The black people. All the Dunkin' Donuts are owned by Indians.
And 7-Eleven.
7-Elevens, So where are we? Where even are we? So we become the nurses in the hospital, which is okay. But we don't own any hospital here. Then when you go to mechanics, Spanish people, you go to construction, Spanish people. So where are we? So we have to start, making ways to these areas and controlling it. We have the market now. We have the population to serve.
Yeah.
Then who is cleaning all the houses? Who is doing the landscaping? I don't know. Spanish people come and cut their grasses and all of that. So I don't blame our people, because our people have not formed a company to do all this job. And then you are busy looking for job all over the place. So these are ideas that we share in our monthly get-together business network. What about construction? There's no non-African contractor that is legit. Some of the ones we have there now, few of them, you can't even trust them. But we need people we can trust, major companies that can carry projects. I don't know. I haven't seen. Maybe, when you broadcast this, they'll call me on the phone and say, we are there, we are here, right?
The awareness.
So I don't want to, insult anybody, but I don't know. So if you are a major contractor that do big job, that have credentials, we are looking for you. You understand?
That's a nice one.
But the point is that I haven't seen any.
Maybe after this podcast, they'll get to you. Never can tell.
You understand?
Yeah.
So these are the services we require. Have you ever asked yourself, who is washing all the African clothing, that all the ashebi them and the African dresses and all of that? Have you ever seen laundromat owned by us, dry cleaner owned by us? And where are they? These are simple services we give ourselves, right? So we don't own a local store. We don't own a laundromat or dry cleaning. These are personal things we can do for ourselves. We don't have any of those. Even restaurant that is outstanding to cook. Kudos for all the people after we establish Origin Restaurant and Lounge. We have seen more restaurants coming, and I encourage everybody establish. We don't have enough yet. So African grocery stores established. There's a lot of major areas you can establish. If you are looking for help, come to me. I'll surely tell you how to go about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we need to have our presence, and serve our people. Now, another major area is that we don't get into politics. The city need to know that we are here. To be honest with you, Nigerians in Avington and their kids, let me not be, can be 100. 100. Let me just, there will be more, but let me just say, I don't know, but we are planning to get these numbers right, but there'll be over 100, if not 200 or something, right? Then go and Google how many votes it takes to win the mayor of Avington. Not a lot of vote. You understand? So we can be a major voting bloc. But the city need to know that we are here. We don't have any organization that say here is Nigerians here, and I'm trying to do. By the way, if you live in Avington, I need to know where you are. Come and see me because we need to go and tell the mayor that we are here. And then during the election time, we bring our voting block. Not only that we are here, we run businesses here. So the city are looking for us. They need to know who lives in this city. And there's a lot of incentive from the city. Sometimes the city have city properties to sell. They have tax, people that are not paying their taxes to auction their properties. So if you are not familiar with the city, you don't know all of this. There's also employment opportunities from the city for the people that live in the city. Why can't our kids become the police officers in Avington? You go to Edison, Indians are police officers. Go to Lakewood, there are Jewish people, police officers, because they want the city to reflect people that live there. So how do you create power? People will be in the police. The judges there should represent our people. We are very educated. Inspectors should be us. You understand? And the major businesses we have here, the mayor need to know that we run business here. You understand? So when they know this, then you are part of the community, and then you benefit from the community too.
So, do you have other people that you're collaborating with for this sensitization program? Because, like you said, our people really need to be sensitized, to know what they are missing out on,
Yeah, I have started talking to a lot of people about collaborating in both community efforts, business, and every other thing. Um, That's why I said that we have this program that we have, networking. So actually, I've met a lot of Nigerians that live in Avington. We are trying to invite the mayor so that he will come and see that we live here. So maybe sometime in March, I will send in letter for him to come and address Nigerians in Avington. So when it comes to the business area, like I said already, I have 13 groups that buy houses and keep for rental. And again, we are forming an organization called Injikowet. Injikowet, we want to take it public. Public means, registering it. Like, how you go and invest, what is it called? After establishing NGCO, anybody can invest in NGCO. You go and buy a share. Okay. The proceeds of money coming from the shares, what will be used to invest in real estate. So you see how Jewish people go and buy major properties like 100 units, 50 units. We want to be able to start acquiring properties all over New Jersey, anywhere we can get properties that can be rental. Then the dividends from that goes to the investors accordingly. And from there, we can also participate in other things. Our goal is, our focus is, if we are successful in doing it, we can establish bank that can serve our interest. Because the advantage the Jewish people and the Chinese people have, or even the Indians, they have bank that lend money to them.
And it's part of their system.
And it's part of their system. So now I want to build a market that is so big. I don't have money. No, I don't have anybody to give me the kind of money I need to run it, right? But if we would have bank that understand my plans, it's easier to look at my plan and say, okay, here is money, establish and pay money. Give me what we call soft loan. When I go to the bank in America to borrow money to expand that for market, very difficult. Now, even if they want to borrow me money, they will give me some crazy percentage. even up to 10 to 15%, 20%. How can you pay this thing back? So our plan is to establish a platform where we can, a platform that is protected by US law, so that we are not violating any law that is protected. Then you can go and invest your money. It doesn't matter how much. So if we have that all over the world, that you can go and establish your account and invest, that will give us a lot of financial power to invest in a lot of real estate deals, and also borrow money to young people that want to establish business.
Okay, Mr. Durugo, we've dwelled so much on your success part and the awareness part. Now, this platform, you know, we want to capture your resilience story, your struggle days. You talked about, cutting hair being about and when you were on your lowest level, kind of, before you now sprang up to become who you are. Can you take us back?
Yeah,
What was running through your mind during those struggle days? What kept you motivated, struggling till you get to where you
yeah, anybody that talk about success without relating to their struggle, I don't know, maybe the person have a different type of story. Yeah, I struggled a lot in US though. Everything was not like perfect. When I first came to US, my cousin brought me. It wasn't easy. I had to juggle with school. I did three jobs. I cut hair in the afternoon. In the morning, go to SS County. At night, I went to Edison parking lot where I was parking attendant. At that time, the pay rate was like 375. But then when you look at it, a cup of coffee that time was 25 cents, right? So my resilience was like, I came from family, although my father did well, my mother did well, but I grew up understanding that I cannot fail. That gave me a lot of courage that you came to US as a young man, you have to take advantage. And I didn't have to look for paper because I came with immigration lottery.
okay?
So I didn't have to marry anybody.
Okay.
So my struggle days is something from me is telling me, without education, you are nobody. Yeah, basic. You must complete school.
Okay.
So, and that kept me going. Then going past that, after I got all my necessary first degree, my master's, and working, then I got married anyway. So marriage was not easy. Comparing marriage when you didn't have money and then start having kids. I could remember when you write a check, the thing will bounce, and you come home, your wife look at you, why would your check bounce? But my source of courage had been my wife, her ability to keep peace at home. My wife is a good woman. No matter what happened, even if we quarrel and all of that, she always have this attitude that we are in this thing together. She have never frustrated my effort to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And then my joy is when the kids start coming out. No matter what I'm doing out there, I have this inside joy that I'm working for somebody, I'm working for the new generation. I have something to come home with. So my wife, my kids, and also my progressive effort is always good to see yourself progressing little by little. That was what have given me resilient mindset to keep going. I thank God for everything. I'm very prayerful. I am a kind of person that really believe that nothing can stop me.
Okay, that's a nice one. It's a good,
Nothing can stop me.
it's a good propelling force. So another thing, making all these impacts, you encountered obstacles and challenges. So how were you able to handle them?
Yeah, obstacles and challenges was also there. I worked in a place that I thought like NJ Park. There's a couple of jobs I got. One of them, I have very good relationship with my manager. or the supervisor. So I did personal things for him. He would tell me, "Oh, when we get up, can you do this? I'll do." So I was in that job for 2 years, and there was a time they wanted to hire assistant manager. I thought I'll get it because I'm doing a good job. I'm cool with the manager and all of that. All of a sudden, they gave it an Indian guy. End up telling me to train that guy. It was a disaster. Like,
How did it make you feel?
the next day, I don't want to go to that job anymore. I was like, why? I kept asking myself, why?
Yeah.
One, you have good relationship with the establishment. Two, I believed I worked hard. I was one of the hardworking guys. Three, the position is up for grab. Like, we already there. We knew what is going on. We know exactly what to do. Why did you bring somebody from somewhere? So that, to me, that was a very big disappointment. But then it was a good one. It was a good disappointment because after that disappointment, I looked up. I looked up. That's when I took internship in the Department of Correction in Northern State. That exposed me to taking state exams to become a correctional officer. So, as a matter of fact, those people were there when I was with probation, working in downtown Newark with my suit and all of that. I saw them; they're still working over there, right? So maybe if I didn't encounter that disappointment, I would still be there for a long time. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So everything wasn't rose, and also I did a lot of business that didn't work. There's all these people coming, pyramid, Primerica, you invest money on it, and end up they are spending your money like registration fee and all of that. We did a lot of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nothing worked. So that's why you must believe it that there's no easy way to success. So all those trials that came my way and all of that, thank God. After that, you look forward for what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So the main thing is that I said I'll complete my education. I must become somebody important. That kept me going. And then with family in my back, looking up to peaceful family, my wife encouraging me, that also kept me strong.
So, because this platform, what we try to do, we try to capture relatable stories. Now, today, you have origin. Some people that now see you in this present state. Because when you tell this story, because I know nobody can tell this story like you. At least they will know you have where you were coming from. You had the obstacles like any other person. You had every reason to give up, but you persisted. Today, you are who you are. So, because there are people that are that point that you were then, this is there now. So, when they hear your story, they'll tap from it, learn from the mistakes you made, and forge ahead and being able to replicate themselves, their success story too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your input on that direction. But we talked about the 4 mistakes our people make when they come over. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, the 4 mistakes. Before I go to the 4 mistakes our people make, I mentioned my career in real estate.
Yes.
I mentioned in Afro market, establishing Afro market. Dating back, I also worked like every other person, my state job. But I know I did not mention Origin Restaurant and Lounge and
Okay.
how it started. So Origin Restaurant and Lounge is also after establishing Afro market. We find a need that our people don't have any place. People hear about Abuja. Abuja is not owned by Nigerians, but a lot of people are confused when they hear Abuja. Because I have a friend that is pansec that came from Abuja. The first thing he told me is that I want to go to Abuja. So I took him to Abuja and he's drinking. He said, well, this place is okay, It's a Nigerian place. I said, sir, you can drink your drink and eat your issue. but this place is not owned by us. He said, why? Why is it Abuja? I said, it's a business name. You can use any type, you can use any name you want. When I told him it's owned by Cameroonian, I mean, he ate his food and all that, but I was a bit like disappointed because he thought it's a Nigerian place. Yeah. So we are treated all kind of way, all the places we went to eat, because the place doesn't belong to us. So after that, because being in real estate, I was showing a lot of places. So I came up with the idea. I said, our people must have a place. That's how, when I find the current place called Origin, I started looking for somebody to collaborate with. At that time, Kevin and I, because Kevin and I invested in real estate. From there, we kind of know each other. And then we become close. We want to do something else. Only was what we wanted to do. Two of us, when we went to get a loan, the bank was not funding restaurant at that time, and then we couldn't borrow money. In my usual way, like I said, when I set out to get something done, it must be done. I don't care what it is. Then I said, okay, this is time to collaborate more. Beyond that, Kevin, I had to bring more people. So we were able to bring the other guys, Ben, Osis, all of them, together. We were able to buy the place outright. So now, but the good thing there is that after establishing all the family, our people have like sense of pride, this is nice. There's two ways to it. Some people say, oh God, this guy is gonna have problem. Wow. How did you put these people together? They expected us to fight, right? But in the good part of it, people were happy that, like some of my Igbo guys in Kankai, this is our own, Yeah. So they came there, they patronized, they supported, they were happy that this place feels like home. This is our own. And they have always been like that. But the good thing is that we don't fight, we do business like brothers. Sometimes, even if we have disagreement on ideas, we settle it by taking a vote. So I've been the CEO. I've been very, very, it has been good collaborating and relating with each other and solving problems, doing whatever we need to do. And Origin is still going strong. With what you asking me, your question is the 4 major mistakes our people make when they come to US. So that they can learn and correct it. And yeah, when people come to this is what I identify. This is my personal observation or opinion. I think the major problems our people face, the 4 of them is number 1. I mentioned it before. 1, they're coming with baggage. As soon as you leave Nigeria, your mindset is that, when I get to US, I'll work and solve my problems. And those problems stream from sending money back to Nigeria for your parents or your family, depending on where you are staying when you come to US. Some of the people that came to US is already married, have kids in Nigeria. Yeah, get it. You come here, you work, send money home. Some came young, but depending on where you are, generally you come with a lot of baggage. Yeah, this thing is like I work, send money home. But that at a point become a problem because you are not building yourself. So when you come, why you send money to sustain your people a little bit, try to build yourself. Like I said, you can start school. If you don't have paper, try to fix yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself so that you can be able. The second is that they do not identify with people that can be of resources to them. Like when a lot of people come, they start being friends with people that cannot help them anywhere. Like They identify with the newcomers too. Why you can do that? Always find people you can learn from, people you can ask questions, people that can change your life. As a matter of fact, if you come to US, you ask somebody, how can I do this? And they tell you, oh, man, it cannot be done. US is too hard and all of that. Maybe you don't need to be talking to that person. Always find somebody that will give you idea that works, that will suggest. I'm not saying it's easy, but there's solution to everything, right? So the first mistake is to bundle yourself up with the problem you come from Nigeria. Second is not looking for people that can be a role model that you can look up to. Three is ego, like nobody can tell you anything. Some people will start telling you, I own businesses in Nigeria before I come to you. But the way you run business in Nigeria or started in Nigeria is different from the way we do it in US. So therefore, you have to learn. So remove your ego. You are not bigger than anybody. Wherever you are in Nigeria, you are Oba in Nigeria. That is in Nigeria. Go back to Nigeria. You know what I mean? If you come here, you have to learn US way. You have to learn the system to be able to take advantage of the system. Two is people that come with their wife, who often tell their wife to start school and go to nursing school. Why your wife is going to nursing school? What are you doing? You're not educating yourself. You're not building yourself. Now your wife become a registered nurse, right? Become a or BSN nursing and all of that. Start making a lot of money. Then you want to control the money. And then they teach you lesson. You understand? And then they start telling you, oh, this is my money. You know what I mean? So our women are not trained to take care of men, right? I mean, in a normal sense, we all should work together. But what I'm trying to tell you is that whether you are a man or a woman, when you come to US, why you are helping the other person to grow. Also grow in your own, like invest in yourself too, so that two of you can have your hands, can have a strong hand to helping the. So a lot of men came here. They help their wife go to school and all of that, thinking that at the end of the day, the money is our money. And then they get disappointed when things didn't work the other way. It's not entirely the mistake of the other person. It's because you have refused to adjust. So you have refused, you still maintain that I'm the man or I'm the woman. This is how we started, it had to be like that. But the US is a different environment. Now, here is designed to be a spinning wheel. As a matter of fact, the best time to adjust in US is when you come. If you know what you want to do in US, adjust as soon as you come, as soon as possible. You know why? As you stay in US, it's difficult to adjust. You know why? Because it's a spinning wheel. Now, when you come, the first time you come, you have less bill.
Yeah.
And then you rent apartment. Now you have to pay the light bill and pay your rent and pay other things that comes in. Now you buy a vehicle, you have to fund, buy the gas, buy the insurance. Now you have medical bills and all of that if you have kids. Now the kids start school. You have to send them to school back and forth. You have to feed them. That will tie you in that your job forever. Because leaving a job means no income anymore. Who's gonna cut that for you? You understand? So, but if you identify these four areas, meaning when you come in, focus attention on yourself. The mistake is focusing attention in Nigeria. You want to finish your house that you left, that you didn't finish. Then you did not invest in yourself. Second is you want to be sending money. Even some people go to the extent that they want to show off in their family, sending money to people, doing things that is not like very, very important.
Yeah.
So the next thing is that you're not identifying people that you want to be like you want to follow. If you if you want to be a medical doctor, as a young man, why not you identify people that is in the field so that they can learn how did they go about it. You understand? You wear no three, you wear ego, like nobody can tell you anything. You're a big guy in Nigeria, therefore you must be a big guy here by the way you think. Maybe you need to calm down so that you can learn from people, right?
Yeah.
Third, don't
Fourth.
actually no fourth.
Okay, yeah.
Why you are building somebody in case you are one of the person that came with their wife, or even somebody that have promised somebody in Nigeria you will marry them. All you do is you work so hard and train your wife in Nigeria, and you yourself is not going to school in US. At the end of the day, you bring the wife in, the young girl is vibrant, get in the system and start making a lot of money more than you, and start looking at your paycheck and say, how come I'm making 2,000, you're still making 500? Then you get upset and the marriage that's supposed to work will start having problem, right? So while you are building on somebody else, whether you are a woman or also build your own, like build your career so that you have comfortable and you make enough to also be comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So those are the 4 mistakes I identified. There's other things. I think that's the elementary level there.
Another thing you talked about, how can we take advantage of the system? You understand? Instead of being a slave to the system, using the system to our own advantage.
Yeah, we can take advantages of the system by we must do what other people are doing. We don't have to go and bring a sophisticated ideas. What do they do? What are our Arab brothers doing? What are the Spanish brothers doing? So you go to all the corners in US, you see corner stores. When these people come, they open up one for themselves, maybe 2 or 3 people, and share the shift for themselves. That's also taking advantages of the system. You work for yourself. Then people have to live together. Our people are so annoying that they come to US. I don't want to live among our people. People are gossiping. And then you move to Sages where you are isolated. Why people don't want you out there? Why are you going over there? But you know what? The funny thing is that majority of the time you are coming over here to meet your friends, to buy stuff, to attend wedding, wakekeeping, wherever you are driving. Do you know how many people that have died in interstate highway going back to very far where either they sleep in the steering, make mistake and run into accidents, right?
Yeah.
So are you happy over there? I'm telling you, according to what I'm hearing from some of them, they're not even happy over there. So communities live together. You go to Iron Band in Newark here, it's Spanish people like Brazilians, Portuguese, and all of that, and they have their restaurant and everything. You go to Jersey City, Newark Avenue, the Indians and all of that. Go to Edison, and there. Where do Nigerians live? Where do other Africans live?
We are
I don't
scattered.
know. We're all over the place. The fact that it's very funny and annoying at the same time that if you want to say a Nigerian a house and you go and tell them, oh, a lot of Nigerians live in this street, they say they don't want that street. You understand? So then how do you plan to actually work together? So my advice is that we need to identify a theory and buy houses over there in that. So locate your own people and start buying houses, building your business around the area. Don't scatter all over the place. There's no power in being scattering all over the place. Nobody cares about you. You know what I mean? If you are like further away from your people don't like each other like that. You understand? So we have to. I came to US in Avington. Over 30 years I've lived here. I identify business. Here have made me money. A lot of my friends have moved Arizona, Texas, Dallas, and all of that. But I tell you right now, I don't know their pocket. I don't know what they're doing, but I have never seen them in the news doing the big thing. So why are you running around? All the opportunities you are looking for is still here. I'm not against you moving, but what I'm saying is that if we need to combine forces and do big things, we have to identify certain area and live there and control what goes on there. That's how we can build that collaboration, because now we identified in the city, we identify in the business part of it. You come to the street, you see our businesses like you see in Avington here. Then we have personalities that is very important that we can learn from. You can only learn something from somebody you see and you follow. If I don't see you, I don't know what you do. Because I believe there's a lot of us here that have very important positions, that know a lot, either in technology, in business world, in personal life and all of that. But if you don't see them or know about them, there's nothing to learn from them. And also, our people need to open up too somehow. They don't have to be personal friend from me, but from the point of professional abilities, you can create a forum to talk about your business. If people have to pay for it, so it be. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is the only way we can take advantage and build a political muscle, business muscle, the network we need.
Okay. That's good. Okay. Another question I want to ask. Your businesses are expanding. You are a family man, your kids. How do you juggle the family life with business and still maintain that stability? Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and it's a very, very good question, a very important question for me. Family life is very important because let me tell you something. Whatever you do in the outside, you can leave them. But then when you go home, you need to go home in a very comfortable and peaceful environment. And let me tell you something, you have to take care of your wife. In fact, your wife play a major role to your success. A lot of people say something, oh, my wife this, my wife that. I always tell them, whatever you need to do to keep your wife happy. I'm not kidding about this, and I'm talking with experience. So how I balance my family time is, if you watch my social media and all that, I'm always hanging out with my wife. I create a very special time with my wife and kids. I take her to Atlantic City. We go to club, we go drink, we go wherever she need to do. I spend time at home whenever she's off. I spend time with her. We talk about how we want to raise the kids. I kind of brief her on how business is going. But the big part of it is I always give your wife money. It doesn't matter how much she makes. Allocate some money for her. Wives like money. You give them money. You know why? Your wife is happy with your $50. Even if she have maybe thousands of money in her account, it doesn't matter. But she value your $50. So the comedian that say always give your wife money, she we travel together out of state, and also being very honest to your wife about what is going on, and also reminding her that whatever you are doing it for the family. And then get your kids involved in whatever you are doing. A lot of men don't involve their kids in good things that they're doing. I'm not talking about bad things. If you are doing one, that's not necessary. But my business, I like to carry my kids along, tell them what is going on, give them schedule. They work in Afro market. If I'm doing some research, I brief them about it. They help me out. You know what I mean? Sometimes I give my wife a rule. Just do everything to carry them along. 'Cause that eliminates the complaint or nagging and coming home to spoil your day. You know what I mean? So when you come home, it's easier
Okay.
when when your wife is involved. So
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, for people out there, they can learn because you're talking out of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like, you are talking what you know, what you've experienced. So that's good. Okay, what advice do you have for our audience? Because we've really, really touched different areas on this podcast. So for our would-be guys, would-be audience, people that will have access to this clip. So what advice do you have for them?
What advice I have? There's three categories of advice. One is for the young people. For the young people that come to US, try to identify with some mentors or somebody you look up to. Be free to communicate, and also be open for seminars. So there's a lot of teaching, read books of sources, and the mindset of individualism need to start changing. So try to collaborate with somebody you can trust. Then, for the people that is already established in the system and all of that, we need to also collaborate to kind of share ideas. Because when you already have experience, you failed in some certain area, you are successful in some certain area, all these things need to be shared so that the new generations, even the kids who born here, will learn from the experience of the older ones. Keeping it to yourself is not a good idea. So whenever we have, I think a lot of people should come together and have conventions that speak about all these things. So we have guest speakers and all of that. And then we have networking system that we set together to educate people. So my, like I shared before, my idea is when we have these networking seminars that we have, and I know there's a lot of people that is also running their own network. So if you are privy to it, go and listen. If you also have things to contribute, connect with one or two people, and like what you are doing now is very, very important. That you interview people that have experience in one thing or the other. And I'm sure whatever we discuss here will make sense to some people and they can learn from it. You know what I
We
mean?
need to bridge the gap.
Yeah,
That's the
so,
motivating force. Yeah.
so that's very important.
So thank you so much, Mr. Chidi Durugo, CEO AFO. This episode is sponsored by AFO Market. If you're within the Ivington area, just come in and, we have everything for you. Chidi has everything you can think of. If you're within the Newark area, there is still AFO. If you're within the Philadelphia area, there is another AFO. And you want to chill out, Fridays, there is Origin for you. Chidi is all around the place. Has something for you at any given point in time. On that note, Mr. Durugo, thank you for this hangout.
Thank you. I
We'll have
commend
this
you.
hangout again.
Go ahead and interview more people. And I believe at the end of the day, the gap will be bridged. We want our people to excel in the system. We want to have more businesses. As a matter of fact, I'm planning to have some type of a show or convention of a lot of businesses coming together, like how you have trade fair, because the new generation of Africans, the incoming billionaires will come from the food area. Let me tell you something now. We need to repackage our food to the world standard. From farming to the food, repositioning our food will be the new millionaires and all of that. So
The new AOL.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you a business owner, an entrepreneur, an entertainer, or a professional that have a story to tell, or a product or service that you want to put out there for the world to see? Let's set up an exclusive interview between you and I. All I want you to do is to shoot me an email on info@okanes.com.
Let's project your brand, and you'll be glad you did. Thank you.